These two properties may look like your average home, but they're not. They have some histories. Both of these homes were built in the 1800s, and there's one Toronto group that's tried to save it from being demolished.
These are the oldest. They were built in 1858, and it was part of a planned community in the mid-19th century, which nobody thinks of planned communities for working families.
The properties are known as the Garrison Cottages or Robinson Cottages. There were originally 32 of them, but now fewer than half remain standing.
There's 12 left, and there used to be eight behind. 8 on Mitchell on this side, 8 here, and then 8 on Adelaide.
A Facebook group called Save Garrison Cottages was spearheaded by Dolores Bukowski, who lives down the street. She says her hope is to save the homes from being demolished by having them recognized as heritage buildings under the Ontario Heritage Act. Nearby, 2 other cottages were recently torn down because they didn't meet the city's heritage preservation criteria.
We flagged them for our Heritage Preservation Services Division, who evaluates buildings for their heritage value. And we told them, look, if anything comes in for these properties, you need to pay particular attention. They have these applications for demolition that cross their desks, but what we said was, these are important. We believe that they could have heritage value. We would like you to investigate them for the long term, but in the meantime, if something comes forward, keep an eye on it. Well, a demolition application came in for 2 of the cottages, and at that point in time, heritage preservation staff reviewed the applications and didn't identify the necessary level of heritage value to list them, to deem them of enough importance to not allow a demolition application.
The story of the cottages is by now a familiar one to Torontonians. Earlier this year, we brought you the stories of 2 long-standing buildings that were altered or demolished despite community members trying to get them historical designation. In January, the Samuel Bennett House near Spadina and Harbour had its historical features ripped off as one resident tried to get it historical protection. The City of Toronto has since put the property, built in 1878, on the historical register. And this former Bank of Montreal at Yonge and Eglinton, more than 110 years old, was also torn down without notice to city staff and over neighborhood objections to make room for a condo. As for the future of the other cottages, Councillor Layton says they will be speaking to heritage staff to find out the historical value and see if they can make it on the registry.